We were just about ready to close a fight with Frazier, the champion, except that Frazier had to fight this fight against this really raw, inexperienced fighter who had no skills, good punch, but very ponderous, that Frazier was going to take out in a round or two. And they did the fight in Jamaica. And the opponent, of course, was George Foreman, who knocked Frazier cold and became the champion.
Frazier is being battered in Foreman's corner. Joe's about to go down. He does. Joe's been down 4 times. There goes Joe down again. Joe is down for the 6th time.
Oh, good right hand on the left-hand side of the face of Norton. Norton is a bit stunned as Foreman is teeing off. His legs are rubbery as the left hand goes to the side of his head. A right uppercut, a left jab, and a vicious left sends Norton crumbling to the canvas.
January of '74, Ali beats Joe Frazier in a rematch to force the inevitable fight. The fight for Ali to regain the title that he hasn't owned for 7 years. Ali will fight George Foreman for the heavyweight championship of the world.
10.
It seemed like at different stages of Ali's career there was always a Sonny Liston standing in his path, except that he was reincarnated with a new name, but it was always the same leer, the same grimace, the same bulging biceps. George Foreman, again, was a guy that people thought would be champion forever.
But you would go on, even if you would lose there?
Beg your pardon?
You would continue boxing even if you would lose over there?
I beg your pardon? You got to remember that at the time, George Foreman was viewed like Sonny Liston 10 times over. I mean, he had just decapitated Joe Frazier, and he was maiming people in the ring. This man, George Foreman, was awesome.
I honestly thought Foreman would hurt him. I was in awe of Foreman's power and strength. I'd seen him knock that bag off the wall. I'd seen him beat Joe Frazier under the death. So I wasn't concerned about the victory, the title, and no, I was just concerned about his physical well-being. I didn't want him to get hurt.
King comes on the scene. He had never promoted much of anything, and he offers Ali and Foreman $5 million apiece to fight.
There was a gentleman by the name of Fred Weimer who had been calling me over the last 2 or 3 weeks, indicating that he represented the government of Zaire, that he was involved in putting several projects, industrial and mining projects, into Zaire, and that Zaire was interested in putting a major fight in Zaire.
My brothers, Muhammad Ali and George Foreman, we are happy to see you among us.
And the object of them putting a major fight, especially this fight in Zaire, was because at that time in history, the president for life, Mobutu Sese Seko, was fighting to become the main player in the Organization of African Unity. And his opposition in that was Idi Amin.
We are the champion and the #1 contender, so I'm pretty sure that it'll be a fight from the first bell to the ending bell. I predict that you'll be seeing a good fight.
The plane ride was a big kick because Muhammad called me up and they brought me into the cockpit. Well, naturally, all the guys were Zairewa. He said, see them? They're my brothers. They're the pilots. They're giving us the Zaire.
This is a seminal moment in Ali's life. Before he steps on the plane, Africa is just another continent to fight in, a chance to call himself the king of the jungle, or to tease sports writers about boiling them alive. Never again. Africa changes Ali, showing him a culture with black pilots, black lawyers and doctors, and a predominantly black population that worships him. It changes him profoundly. It helps establish him as the most recognizable man on the entire planet.
And huge crowds showed when Ali arrived. They wanted to touch him. He had such a fabulous reputation. And the road was lined with people wanting to see Ali. And Ali was afforded a wonderful reception.
When they started hollering Ali, Ali, looked like it was the whole city or state of Africa behind Ali.
As far as Ali was concerned, he got more and more into the fact that he was in Africa. He was drawing this tremendous strength because it was the time of a black awakening, and he was one of the leaders of the Black is Best, Black is Beautiful, and seemed to be drawing all kind of energy from that, all kind of feeling that this is where I came from, this is Africa. I'm here, I'm really here in Africa.
Black people owning all the land, all of the water, this is a big inspiration for us.
Donc l'Afrique noire est si vous voulez, notre terre, c'est une terre très belle.
We flew here by Air Zayef from Paris, and we had 5 black pilots, all black students, and this is never seen in America.
Ali Boom Ali, that means Ali kill, Ali kill, Ali kill.
When Foreman arrived, somebody translated what those billboards said, Ali, kill him. George became more sullen than what he normally was. And from that moment, George wanted to leave Zaire and either conduct the fight somewhere else or not conduct it at all. This is how George felt. And this feeling kept growing.
L'agitation, ça sert à rien. Oui, because of
you started the chick want to shake your hand, son. She can shake mine.
The more time went by, the worse it was for George Foreman because psychologically he wasn't up to being Africa. To him, he was still in America. He was at the Intercontinental in the suite and having food brought to him from New York in planes and water brought to him. I mean, he was a disgrace. He insulted the nation of Zaire. He had dogs with him that were like police dogs, which the Belgian police had to sick them on the natives, so they weren't very happy to see his big police dogs he had to keep people away from. Almost every step he made was wrong. And all the time he was getting himself deeper and deeper in psychological trouble because he just wasn't training properly. He thought everything was structured against him. He began to imagine water was poison.
So a couple of times I scouted him running and discovered he would cut the running short because I guess he had the idea he was going to shut this big mouth youngster up in 1 or 2 rounds. And Ali and I got together, and Ali knew with his speed and his boxing ability, he would be able to move 6 or 7 rounds on Foreman and tie him out. So that's how we happened to be able to overcome the annihilation that Foreman was intended to put on Ali.
Where you go, you say James Brown, and the people get up and automatically start doing American stuff. Get up and start. So this man, if this man right here, when this man tell me he don't come for no fight, he comes to support me, that means George Foreman, he's in double trouble. That chump is in double trouble. Because with James Brown, I gotta put him down. Yeah.
We used to spy, thanks to Howard Bingham, with his telescopic lens. We'd be off about 2 blocks down the road, and I would look, get behind a partition or something. But we were getting kicks. We were having fun because Muhammad was there. See that? See that? See what? Oh boy! See that? He's throwing a left hook. You're going to be able to nail him with a right hand down the pike. And we used to occupy and have fun with each other.
Flea and 3, Muhammad Ali. Hey, little boy, what you looking for? What you looking for, little boy?
It is 8 days before the fight, and Foreman is having a routine sparring session. Despite his protective headgear, the champ suffers a freakish cut above his right eye. Rumors fly. Some say the fight will be canceled. Foreman's going back to the States. Some say the cut is serious. Others insist it was self-inflicted. Foreman calls a press conference.
First of all, as you know, as soon as the injury happened, I demanded that the press knew within a few minutes, as soon as I cleared the blood off my face, I wanted to make sure that the press that was here knew, and I think within minutes, the guys were in my dressing room. Okay, so there was an accident. So the second thing is to prepare something genuine and something proper to say to you. And today, we have something genuine and proper to you. There has been an injury, and I'm still dependent on the fight. I want the fight, and the fight will take place.
The fight is put off for more than a month. The government warns both fighters it will be unwise to try to leave the country. While Foreman broods, Ali trains.
We postponed it. He still went to the gym that day. It was the best shape he ever was in Zaire, because there was nothing else to do. Our entertainment was the gymnasium. That was the fun trip.